All right, so I just clicked go live. Yeah, I just clicked it. It says we're live now. Refresh your browser. I don't know, maybe there's no connection. It doesn't look like anybody else is on here either. Okay, there's a couple people on there now. Refresh your browser. There's other people on there. There's like 77 people on there. It says it's been live for 46 seconds. Are you using Google Chrome? I mean, that's what I use. Oh, you're on there now? You got it? Okay. All right. Okay, yeah, I'll keep my phone on me. I've got it set to vibrate so that, yeah, okay, all right, 20-ish minutes. Yes, sir. Okay, okay, bye. Hey, guys, I'm making this video upon the very sound advice of my tertiary care provider. There is no such thing as Bigfoot. Bigfoot is not real. Bigfoot is an urban legend, folklore, a figment of our imagination that we all enjoy getting caught up in, the belief of. So, why am I doing this video? I know I owe you. I've had millions of you watch, and thank you for that. But I've told millions of you that potentially I may or may not have a Bigfoot Sasquatch living in the woods behind my house. So here's why I'm telling you that there is no such thing as Bigfoot today. Because my tertiary care provider, who I acquired by way of my secondary care provider, because as we all know, no good deed goes unpunished. And I know a lot of you want to keep looking back there, so I'll stand over here out of the way just to give you a good view. And I'm not using, upon the sound advice of my tertiary care provider, I'm not using my red circles and my blue rectangles. He said, do not do that. So, hold on, I'm buzzing. It's him. Yeah. Uh huh. Well, I hold my finger up. What are you talking about? Right here? Yeah. Where, over here? Hold on. Let me help you out. Over here? You didn't say anything about not using a yellow triangle. You said don't use the red circles and the blue rectangles. I mean, I'm just trying to help you. It worked, didn't it? So that one right there? Yeah, I have a limb saw up here because I'm up here like cutting sticks and stuff. We're going to start burning soon. You want me to cut that out of your way? Why? Why? Okay. All right, hold on, guys. For somebody who doesn't believe in this stuff, this guy thinks he sees something back there and he wants me to cut that limb out of the way. Hold on a second. Remember, always use safety when using powered or non-powered tools. I'm getting ready to cut a limb. I wear gloves even when I use saws because one time I accidentally touched my finger with the blade and it cut it quite deep. I mean, it doesn't take much. So, hi, Carrie O'Neill from Wales. Give me just a second. Wait a minute. Oh, here. I don't really know what that was all about, but he wanted that limb gone. Okay, so here's what's going on. No good deed goes unpublished or unpunished. I almost said unpublished. Sorry, I'm in that industry. So anyway, I meet this wonderful woman at the gym like 3 weeks ago now. And she's like retired, probably mid 60s, looks great, works out all the time. She's telling me about her son. Her son is an occupational therapist. And she said that he and a group of people and the friends of his in the medical profession just opened like their own center actually a couple years ago, and they were struggling. And I really like this woman. I thought, I know what it's like to be new in a business or something and struggle. And the people you appreciate the most are not the ones who in time become your biggest clients, but the ones who in the early days throw you a bone. So I thought, maybe I should go see this woman's son. He's an occupational therapist. I'm sure I've got some sort of side effects or something going on. I'm buzzing again. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, now you want me to use the yellow triangle? Okay. Why? What? Hold it straight up above my right shoulder. Okay, tell me when to stop. There? Tell my viewers to keep their eyes on that? Yeah, I can't hold this triangle up for too long because odd things. I end up at the beach when I use this thing. Oh, now he's saying we're going to have extra sessions. Oh, well, I guess you did hear that. You're watching. Okay. All right. Once more, but quickly. I can't hold this up for long. Right here? Okay. Will you leave me alone so I can tell him what's going on? I'm following your orders. Okay, bye. For somebody that doesn't believe any of this, he keeps seeing something first over here, now over here. Okay, so anyway, I call this woman's son. I set up an appointment, occupational therapist. I'm just trying to throw the guy a bone. So I go in there and he says, "So, what seems to be your occupational injury or whatever?" And I thought, well, I guess there's something, a lot of these folks in the comments always talking about this hitch in my walk. I said, I think my work has affected the way I walk. It's like giving me kind of a weird limp. And he's like, will you please demonstrate? And so I did. This is how I find myself walking. I can be down on the campus, going to a UVA football game or something, and I'm walking to the stadium. And this is how I'm doing it. Watch. Make sure you can see me. Now, I don't always have my arm up. Sometimes it's just I take a full step with my left leg and then I drag my right like this. So the guy who's my secondary care provider, I have a primary care provider, my doctor at the VA, great guy. So this guy, I'm going to say, he's my secondary care provider. He says, how in the world did you develop this sort of a walk with your work? What sort of work do you do? And I told him, I'm a YouTuber. I make videos on YouTube. And so I'm always walking around with the phone like this through the woods. And I got to make sure I hold it just right so that I stay like just in the side of the frame of the picture, like I am right here. And I can't be going in and out of frame. So can only take a half step with my right foot. And I do this so much, I think I'm kind of like, I bent myself sideways over to the left. And he goes, YouTube videos about what? And I'm like, well, about Bigfoot Sasquatch. And, I'm going through the woods. He goes, wait. He says, you make videos about Bigfoot Sasquatch? And I said, yeah, it's what I do. And he says, where do you do this? And I'm like, in the woods behind my house. And he says, that's where we are today. And he says, why do you make these videos about Bigfoot Sasquatch in the woods behind your house? And I said, because that's where he, she, it, or they potentially lives. Duh. Why would I make them somewhere else? And he says, do you have a little bit longer than I'd plan to spend with you today? I'm like, dude, yeah. I already worked, that day for that day. And so he says, do you mind if I bring in one of my colleagues to help me with your situation? And I'm like, no, this is great. Cause I'm thinking maybe like he's going to grab me like here. And then his colleague was going to grab me here and like pull this way. And this guy would pull this way. And I'm like, this is great. So he leaves the room, comes back a couple minutes later, and here's the guy who's now known as my tertiary care provider. And I guess he's like a head doctor. He deals with issues of the mind. And so he says, hold on, he's ringing. No, I'm not going to say your name. I know you told me we agreed to that. What? What? Yeah. The yellow triangle again. Seriously? Okay. Where? Tell me when it's right there. Yeah, I see that. You want me to remove it? Why? You're making me tell the world there's no such thing as Bigfoot, and now you're telling me to clip that limb out of your way because you thought you saw something? Well, if you don't want me telling them, don't be telling me. Come on now. Yes. Okay, give me a second. Remember, safety first. When using tools, either powered or not, use eye protection. And I highly recommend gloves with saws. A lot of people don't wear gloves with saws, but man, I've cut myself. I told you that story. Give me just a second. Hey, you guys know that won't hurt that tree. I love trees. We have a nursery with over 1,000 trees we've grown. It'll just grow back thicker and bushier there. Let me put this down. Okay, so we get into this long conversation about Bigfoot Sasquatch. He said Bigfoot. I prefer Bigfoot Sasquatch. So he's asking me about these videos, about what I think I may or may not be seeing in my backyard. And, the words delusional come up and the word medication comes up. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I've done that before and that didn't go well. So he says, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just try to just stop cold turkey. Don't make any more Bigfoot Sasquatch videos. He said, because what I didn't understand was that I was like, um, I was being kind of influential and maybe making people think things that aren't real. And I'm kind of adding to the problem. And man, I left there feeling like I wish I had not gone in there to get a secondary care provider. And I certainly didn't go in there to get a tertiary care provider, but it happened. So, anyway, I left. And that night, that very night, I was trying to recall the order of events. That night, our kid had a sleepover at a friend's house. Turned out it was a 1-year anniversary of the first time we believe we were visited by something that may or may not be real. That my tertiary care providers get me come out here and tell you guys it's not real. Hold on. What? Oh, I'm starting to go down the wrong road. He called it a rabbit hole. I have a tendency to ramble. It's just how I tell my stories. Hang in there. I still have time. Okay? I got 6.5 minutes. I'm getting to it. Oh, I'm sure that was just a squirrel. You heard it too. See, everybody thinks stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Why? Because that's what they teach in school. It's not true. I mean, the good ones, they have segues everywhere. They go every which way. That's the best way to tell them. So that's how I do it. So anyway, that night, kid has a sleepover. 1 year to the day of the first time we were visited by these creatures, potentially. You remember the story about the drone and all that. That night, this thing comes by and just knocks down the wood pile, one of the wood piles that me, my beautiful bride dearly, aka Giggly Girl, and our son worked very diligently to stack. And yes, my 8-year-old son does help us stack firewood safely with appropriate gear and at an appropriate level of, we don't overwork him. But listen, a kid that won't stack firewood at 8 years old will turn out to be a man that won't stack firewood at 28 years old and 58 years old, in my humble opinion. So anyway, we did a good job to stack this firewood, And something came along in the middle of the night. It wasn't my cat, Cleopatra, who's alive and well and in the house right now. I mean, Doc, why is my cat wanting to stay inside all the time now? Something knocks this wood pile down and put these X's up. I mean, that one back there was there. That's been there for a while. And I did a video back here this summer, and I was on the other side of that X, right behind it, and the cell phone died. Looked like the battery was just completely dead, even though I'd just charged it. Couldn't get it going again. So I start to come out of the woods to hold on. Yeah, I already explained why I digress. What? Yeah, I heard it. My cat started staying inside before the weather started getting cold. She started staying. Will you please let me do this? You told me to do this. Are you charging me right now, like by the hour? Okay, just let me get finished, huh? He tried to say my cat was staying inside because it's cold, but she started staying inside like early summer, late spring. So anyway, I made that video, showing the X's, showing the wood pile. Well, he saw it. So when I went in this week, he's like, I thought I told you not to make any more of those Bigfoot videos. I was like, well, I wanted to get this documented because this happened. He said, look, there's only one way I can help you, and that is by helping you help all those people that you've convinced there may or may not be something out there in the woods behind your house. You have got to do one of those live streams, and you've got to tell them there is no such thing as Bigfoot. Oh, yeah, I see it. You want me to walk up to that thing? I'm not going. I'm not going back there because it's behind the X. Look, you see that X? You see that thing? It looks like Michael Myers. No, you just keep your eye on it, okay? Okay, so anyway, that's your explanation as to why I'm making this video called There Is No Such Thing as Bigfoot. It's upon the sound advice of my tertiary care provider. But this is what gets me, and this is why I think the guy keeps calling on the phone. He told me to specifically make it in this location. And I asked him why. And he said, well, I watched a few of your videos, and that's a very interesting location. Just make it there. Oh, man, this guy can't stay off the phone. Yeah. I hear it. Yeah, I can hear what sounds like something crawling around on the ground back there, like on its belly, but I don't know where exactly you're talking about. No, I live stream on a laptop. I'm old, man. I'm not up to date and current with technology. I mean, look at my phone, bruh. If I took the laptop back here, it would lose the connection. Hold on, let me get the triangle. Hold on. He wants me to check something out. He thinks he sees something crawling on its belly. Tell me when to stop. Yeah, I heard that too. Oh, I'm sure it's just a squirrel. Okay, stop right there. Now what? To the right? Oh, my right? Okay. Right there? Okay, hold on. What? Why? Why the sudden change of heart? You want me to say all that? You want me to tell him that? All because you think you saw what? Shouldn't we talk about this like next time we get together? What do you sabbatical? You mean like one of those long extended vacations? How long you going to be gone? What'd you see back there? Mm, okay. All right. Well, enjoy your trip. You want a quicker ride? No, if you keep watching more of my videos, you'll eventually figure out what the yellow triangle's for. But oh, okay. All right. I'll tell him. Bye. Well, for some reason, this guy's changed his tune. He says based upon something he saw crawling on its belly back there. Ooh, man, look at that. I don't know. You saw it. I mean, I talked to him about getting together and talking about. He said what he said. It's okay for me to continue to do this, but I should tell you that I shouldn't come right out and tell you that Bigfoot does exist or Bigfoot Sasquatch. He said it's okay to keep saying Bigfoot Sasquatch may or may not exist. Perhaps, potentially is a word I like to use. There may be some things out there in the woods behind my house that maybe just not a whole lot of people's ever seen. And then he said that we're not going to be getting together again because he's going on a sabbatical. He said he's got a friend that'll cover for him, but I don't know, he said after talking to me and watching my videos and watching this live stream, he said he needs a vacation, like a really long one. Okay, well, I'll leave this running for a minute or so, see if you can see or hear whatever it was that spooked my former tertiary care provider. Thanks for being with me here at the PBS S, the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show on Homesteading Off the Grid, on YouTube, on Google, on the internet, on planet Earth, part of the Milky Way, well, part of the solar system, then the Milky Way galaxy, all big part of the universe. Cheers.